Hi, welcome to Wednesday. I just want to show you how easily amused I can be by things. I'm going away to Sydney on Friday and I thought I should get some of those little mini toiletry things, body lotion and a little body wash. Ooh, it's glowing. Little mini shampoo and conditioner. They make me so happy. So what I'm actually going to talk about today is I'm going to do a little comparative thing on derivative fiction or narratives. For this purpose we're going to be using Pride and Prejudice and Zombies and Lost in Austen. Now the more observant among you might notice that this is actually a jar of apricot jam. That's because I don't have a copy of Lost in Austen. What do they both do? They take a classic and they play with it. This one I had so much hope for, and it started off quite well because, you know, it's Pride and Prejudice and Zombies. But then that's all it is. It never became anything more. I was waiting for it to build up. I was waiting for the grand denouement of the battle between Elizabeth and Darcy and the zombies and how they're like, oh, you kill zombies like no other, clearly we are destined for each other. But it never happened. I might as well have taken this book, Pride and Prejudice, and added zombies at random points. For example, "You doubt me," cried Jane, slightly colouring. "Indeed, you have reason. Crap, a zombie at the window!" Whereas Lost in Austen, jam, actually took the story and did things with it. Oh, who was the main character? Amanda? I remember it so well. She basically falls into the world of Austen and screws everything up. The wrong people marry the wrong people, certain others go off to become missionaries, and you know, horrible things happen to good people. But we learn interesting things about characters. Like, we learn a little about Wickham, for example, and how he's painted in a very bad light by Austen. But if you looked at him from a different way, maybe he's not so bad. We learn a bit more about Miss Darcy and her role that she played in the events in Margate. You know, the sea thing, stuff happened. It's just a very interesting comparison. I mean, this book could have been so cool. There are zombies. You really can't lose. But what would have been really interesting if the zombies had represented something. Some attitude of society, or something like jealousy, or even the whole first impressions thing. Somehow could have been worked in. And they should have been part of the story, they should have been part of the plot. Instead they were just there. And as awesome as zombies are, if they're going to be invading a classic of literature, they need to be more than just there. I'm sorry. The one reason I think Lost in Austen worked was because it offered something new. It gave us different interpretations of characters, and even though everything ended up the way it should, it sort of showed us how easily it could have gone the wrong way if things didn't go the right way. Pride and Prejudice and Zombies just offered zombies. I think I'd sort of like to issue a little bit of a challenge. Take a classic. It doesn't have to be Pride and Prejudice, it could be a classic that you particularly like, and do something with it. Put zombies in it, put vampires in it. Take vampires out of it, in case it's, you know, Dracula. So to conclude, Pride, Prejudice and Zombies, worth reading, but don't expect too much of it. Lost in Austen, definitely try and watch it if you can. Rework a classic for me. Have a good week, and have an awesome weekend. Bye. I think my cat's trying to get my attention. Subtle.